that team was churning out champions like the automotive industry was turning out cars. If we're playing a game of poker, he wants to win. You know, if we're swimming, he wants to win. Everything he wants to win at. February 22nd unfolds as Tyson Fury, sensational victory.
Okay, so when the call came for you to train Tyson, what was it like and what did he say to you?
I remember the call from Tyson Fury. It was, I don't remember, I think it was a Tuesday, and it was 7:37 a.m. because I looked at the clock, I looked at my phone when I heard the phone ringing and I saw the foreign number. So I knew it was from a UK number. And you know, it wasn't really that much of it wasn't that big of a surprise. You know, we've talked before, you know, we're friends. And I was kind of prepped the day before from talking to Andy Lee, which is Tyson's cousin. I spoke with him on Monday about me possibly training Tyson Fury. And the call came through Tuesday morning where Tyson himself, you know, called me and asked me, was I interested in training him and would I train him for his rematch with Deontay Wilder.
Is it an exciting opportunity for you?
Yes, it's a very exciting opportunity for me because I feel this is something that my uncle Emanuel started with training Tyson Fury, and I want to finish it up for him. I want to make his words come true once again.
Back in the day, you were in camp when Tyson came and worked with Emmanuel, weren't you?
Yeah, I was definitely in camp, and me and Tyson spent a lot of time together during that time in Detroit. At that time, Andy Lee wasn't in Detroit training, and Tyson stayed in Andy's room, so it was just me, Tyson, and Emmanuel living in the house at that time. But prior to that, it would be me, Andy, and Emmanuel living in the house.
What were your first impressions of Tyson?
My first impressions of Tyson was very tall, you know, extremely tall. You know, and, you know, his accent, he was from, you know, British accent and British Irish accent from, you know, and just him being in the gym and his character, you know, smiling, very confident, him being a big man and being able to move the way he moves, similar to like a middleweight, maybe even a welterweight. You know, he just moves that big, and most of the time when you get a guy that big, they're maybe not to say clumsy, but maybe not as coordinated. And Tyson was very coordinated, so that caught my eye immediately.
So what are you dealing with Tyson now? What does he bring to the table as a fighter now?
I believe Tyson Fury brings to the table his natural boxing ability, his charisma, his attitude, his, you know, he has this certain swag about him. You know, he can talk trash, and he's able to back it up, but he loves that challenge, in any challenge, you know, maybe whether it's talking trash or it's boxing and competing. That's Tyson Fury. He's a true competitor at anything. It's not even just boxing or trash talking. You know, if we're playing a game of poker, he wants to win. You know, if we're swimming, he wants to win. Everything he wants to win at. And you know, that's a strong characteristic, you know, that Tyson, he carries. You know, just wanting to win, wanting to be pushed, wanting that challenge, the ultimate challenge. And that's, you know, one of the things that's I'm looking forward to in this fight, the rematch with Deontay Wilder, is that challenge. You know, he you know, felt he fought and won the first fight, and this poses a bigger challenge for him, and he wants a knockout.
Have you had enough time to work with him for this?
I believe I had enough time. I'm having enough time to work with Tyson. That's kind of a question that everybody's asking, is it enough time? I do believe it's enough time. What Tyson wants is what I'm teaching him, and what I'm teaching Tyson wants. So it's not like we have to meet or we have to be on the same page at some point. We're already on the same page. And that makes everything a lot easier. So the time that we do have, he's learning very well. Right now, he's ahead of schedule, which nobody really thought he would be ahead of schedule. And I guess right now, nobody still knows because the fight hasn't happened yet.
There's been, the talk is quite aggressive that there's going to be a change in tactics, that he's looking to stop Wilder this time, he's not looking to outbox him.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love the tactics change that he wants to knock out. We call it just the Krong style. Get a knockout, go for the knockout. At least if you don't get the knockout, it's a great chance you're gonna win, versus just trying to go for the win. And if you fall short from a win, you know what that is. It's a loss.
But it's a risky strategy in front of Wilder, who punches the way that he does.
Yeah, it's a risky strategy, but it will also be risky to try to stay away. When you try to stay away sometimes, that may be more confident for the other fighter. He's growing and getting more confident with you staying away, trying to be extra cautious. So when you stay away and try to be extra cautious, you're not really giving yourself that chance to win either.
What did you think about the first fight?
I thought the first fight was, I didn't think it was that close like that, but I'm not a judge. And like I said, my look at the first fight was Tyson won the fight. I thought he won the fight, but I can't argue with the decision. I can't argue not one bit, because in my head, the way I was drilled was get the knockout. That's just the way I was raised, is to take it out of the hands of the judges. You got two fists, let your fist be the judge of it. I can remember my uncle training Lennox Lewis versus Evander Holyfield. And we all thought, I thought he won the fight, Lennox Lewis. And that fight was a draw. But I remember hearing Emmanuel hollering and screaming and cussing in the corner for the urgency for Lennox to get the knockout. And when the decision came out, I knew exactly why he was screaming and hollering. I mean, yeah, we think he's winning the fight, but you can never tell. You're not a judge. But the only 100% way that you know you won that fight was to get a knockout.
Tell me about the great Emanuel Steward.
Yeah. Emmanuel's like a father to me. And, he means a lot to me, meant a lot to me, still does. The things that he taught me, the things that I've learned, the things that I picked up from him, just looking at him as a role model like that. And, I do a lot of things that he did because they were the right things. How you treat people, treat someone how you want to be treated. That was one of the things he always said. If you have any doubt on a decision you have to make, just put yourself in that position and say, how would you want it to come out? And that's how you get the best decision. So it wasn't just all in boxing, what I learned from Emmanuel. It was how to live, how to treat people better. And that's one of the things that I still hear from people, is how he treated them, how he made them feel.
And what made him one of the great trainers?
I feel Emmanuel's one of the great trainers because of the work he's done with fighters. You can look at the numbers and see over 40 world champions. I don't think anybody has over 40 world champions in the history of boxing. He made a lot of people world champions. He made a lot of people regain their world championships. Toward the end of his career, he was more, they called him a hired gun. If you want to win, put Emmanuel in, something like that. And earlier in his career, he built a legacy, the Krong Gym. That stable of boxers, that team was churning out champions like the automotive industry was turning out cars. And, he was invited, he was in the Wall Street Journal for that. They did an article on him in the Wall Street Journal for his ability to turn out champions from that little small gym in the basement in Detroit. And that's one of the reasons why, a few reasons why I feel Emmanuel is the greatest trainer in history.
Years ago, Like more than a decade ago, he predicted this fight, didn't he? He predicted that these two guys, Wilder and Fury, would be at the top of the tree.
Yes, Emmanuel did predict a lot of things that have come to fruition, and he predicted a great fight with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that because I'm sure everyone's seen the interview, or if they haven't seen it, they're looking it up now.
So how does February the 22nd unfold in the ring in the MGM?
February 22nd unfolds as Tyson Fury sensational victory.